Today marks 15 years since the Smoleńsk tragedy. Time passes, but Polish people remember the late president, Professor Lech Kaczyński, First Lady Maria Kaczyńska, and the 94 other victims of the Smoleńsk catastrophe. The remembrance appeal was read in front of the presidential palace. Politicians of all sides remember the victims of the Smoleńsk catastrophe. In front of the monuments to the victims of the Smoleńsk catastrophe and Lech Kaczyński, on behalf of the Law and Justice Party, flowers were laid by the late president's brother, Jarosław Kaczyński. Chairman of Republika Tomasz Sakiewicz also laid a wreath. Meanwhile, an ecumenical prayer was held at the Powązki Cemetery, in front of the monument to the victims of the Smoleńsk catastrophe. In Kraków, a solemn mass was attended by Polish President Andrzej Duda, who laid a wreath in front of the sarcophagus of Maria and Lech Kaczyński. The memory of those who died at Smoleńsk is important to the head of state.
Chcę podziękować wszystkim, którzy pamiętają i wszystkim tym, którzy dzisiaj...
I want to thank all those who remember and all those who will pay tribute today to those great figures of our political scene, our social life, great Poles, great patriots, who at that time, together with the President of the Republic of Poland, his wife, and President in exile Ryszard Kaczorowski, flew to pay tribute to the Polish officers murdered in Katyń.
Oddać hołd polskim oficerom pomordowanym w Katyniu.
President Andrzej Duda also prayed and laid wreaths at the Powązki Cemetery. In the same, flowers in front of a plaque commemorating late President Lech Kaczyński were laid by the Polish Marshal of the Sejm, Szymon Hołownia. The memory of the victims of the Smoleńsk catastrophe was honored with a moment of silence by the Speaker of the Seimas of the Republic of Lithuania. Today is a significant day. 15 years ago, our neighbors, the Polish state, and its friends were shaken by a terrible tragedy. In a plane crash, the President of Poland, many parliamentarians, representatives of the military, and most of the Polish political elite were killed. Today is the 15th anniversary of this tragedy. I ask you to observe a minute of silence in memory of all those who died in this disaster. Time heals wounds, but despite the passage of years, it is difficult to fully come to terms with the fact that loved ones are gone irrevocably. It's all the more difficult because some of the victims and their families have clashed with the industry of contempt sustained by politicians affiliated with the civic platform. We have been living these 15 years in a hell of hegemony and slander, accusations, something unimaginable in the civilized world.
Niewyobrażalne w cywilizowanym świecie.
10 kwietnia 2010 roku poseł Jadwiga Wiśniewska była obecna w Smoleńsku, czekając na polską delegację.
Ta delegacja leciała w imieniu polskiego narodu.
This delegation flew on behalf of the Polish nation to this inhumane land, and I, on April 10th, 2010, was waiting in the Katyń forest for the arrival of the delegation headed by the Polish president. And then this terrible news found me there. And I can say that I felt there that the Katyń land is so soaked with Polish blood that it can't get any more so.
Ziemia katyńska jest tak bardzo przysiągnięta polską krwią, że już bardziej nie może.
Another sad reflection comes to mind.
Zginęli w Smoleńsku.
Those who died in Smoleńsk, who flew there, after all, with Poland in mind, our history, our tradition, our common pain. They gave their lives for nothing. They gave their lives not for this kind of Poland, not for a Poland that is divided, that is moving further and further away from any dreams of peace, freedom, democracy. Lech and Maria Kaczyński flew to Smoleńsk to pay tribute to the victims of Katyń, as did the 94 other victims of the Smoleńsk catastrophe. They wanted to honor those who gave their lives for their homeland. It turned out that they shared their fate.